was the most improved. Now, I'm not sure if he said that to kind of butter him up a little bit, you know, because he is laning against him, but that's what he said.
The other thing is most improved player could also mean that he thought speed was absolutely awful.
He also said that.
And now he's okay. So then you're still the most improved player over somebody who was good and is now brilliant, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on the baseline. But I would definitely agree. Speed has improved a lot. And I mean, obviously, only joking here. He is a very solid player. And I think he's been one of the, I would agree with one of the most improved players of the region in general since the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Let's look a little bit at the picks. I see Shopify Rebellion with Shadow Fiend, and I just feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, there was a stat that Arteezy Shadow Fiend is like I think it's top 3 hero player combination win rate of all time in Dota.
I think you're right.
It's exceptionally high. I think he has a win rate of like 70% or something on Shadow Fiend.
It's ridiculous.
Or 60 something, absolutely. I'm positive about that. It's very, very high with the amount of games he has. Looking to pad that stat a little bit, perhaps in this game. I think Shopify Rebellion have a lot of comfort. It's Abed, Storm, and as much as people love to meme on it, I still feel like Shopify most of the time pick it when it makes a lot of sense rather than just forcing it down Abed's throat. I also don't think Bulba has the authority to just be like, Abed, shut up, you're playing Storm again. I think it's a conversation every time. Yeah, their draft looks very solid. For the side of 5RATFORCESTAFF, I think there's like a mid-game timing that this lineup looks very powerful to me. I think Death Prophet is always a scary hero when it hits its timing. And if they can combine their heroes around that and really play around him with Aphotic Shield, with all of their stuns, there's a lot of things to keep enemy heroes in place so that Death Prophet ult can deal damage, right? So could definitely see it working out.
Well, let's see how it pans out. I'm very intrigued to see how this game number 1 goes. Shopify, of course, they did have that one loss on the first day of the NA DPC Tour 2 to TSM, so while they may not feel pressured in all the series they have coming up, there is that air of we can't lose the second time, because if we lose the second time, then there's a high potential of tiebreakers with, say, Nouns later on down the line, and Nouns, as you saw last series, they're kind of showing up right now. They're looking pretty damn good. You don't want to risk those tiebreakers if you can avoid it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, NA, for the most part, for the last multiple seasons, has been about, okay, there's these top 3 teams. How do they place against each other? And who wins the tiebreaker, right? So with Shopify Rebellion already losing to TSM, they effectively, quote-unquote, have to win out and then also beat Nouns, right?
Yeah.
In theory, they could lose to Nouns as well and have like 5-2. And then if Nouns lose to TSM and one other team, they would have a tiebreaker for second. But like you said, with how Nouns have been playing so far, I just don't really see that happening. I don't think Nouns will lose to any other team than Shopify or TSM, most likely.
Right.
So, yeah, you got to bring it every series. And most of the time when Shopify play teams in this region, the games are pretty stompy because they're just better in lanes. Like, most of the time, they build a huge advantage in the first 10 minutes and never let up. So that's going to be the challenge here for 5RAT, is to not get run over.
Now, speaking of stompy in lanes, I mean, you're just looking at Abed on that Storm. Let me tell you, this man has stomped practically every lane I've seen in Tour 2 so far. This guy, I like to say he's one of the best mid laners in the world right now. I know people like to tell me I'm an idiot for saying that, because, you know, you have characters like Nisha.
You're an idiot for saying other things, but that's pretty accurate, I think. I could be on board with that. Abed's a very, very good laner.
Thank you for that, Sindra.
No problem. That's what friends do, right?
We did win the competition after all.
We did. And I'm going to hold that against you. Now I get to abuse you because we're friends.
John was sitting somewhere just clenching his fist like, I would have known that damn answer. That damn Sindra.
I shower with him 10 times a week. I would know.
Regardless, no first blood being drawn yet. You've put some real bad images into someone's mind out there, let me tell you, Sindra.
Or good images.
Or good images? I mean, I wouldn't say so.
But images.
Images are there. Bottom lane, Giant getting tossed into some neutral creeps, getting kind of harassed here by Crit. No first blood being drawn, but so far looking pretty damn good for Shopify. Like, you look at the CS across the board, top 3 cores are the side of Shopify. And the laning stage in general just looking very strong already.
Yeah, they're very comfortable. I think this top lane is actually a very hard lane for Death Prophet, which I don't say very often. I think this hero is a very strong laner, but you're playing it with a 4 Nyx, who I think is one of the weakest laners in the game right now that gets played sometimes as a 4. Just, you have this one stun, and that's kind of everything you offer. You don't have meaningful damage. You don't really trade very well. And Death Prophet is playing into Raze combos. She's playing into the constant harassment of this Disruptor as well.
Top lane?
Yeah, Arteezy needs to avoid that.
That's a lot of damage, Arteezy. He's running.
I'll be okay.
Oh, speed may not be, though. He's been slowed up by the razors, and it's such a long slow.
Yep.
Fly goes down. I didn't realize how long that slow lasted. 8 seconds? Is it 8?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it might not sound like that much when you look at the numbers, right? It's like 13% slow on level 2 raise, but when you get the stacks up, that's like you're kind of just galed, right?
Yeah.
Almost for 8 seconds there. At least the 3/4 effective gale is on you there. You're not moving anywhere.
I think it's a turn rate as well. Like, you saw Speed trying to turn, and that minus 30% turn rate.
It's very, very annoying.
Oh. Reminds me of the day I had to play against Batrider for the first time. That was a fun experience.
It's actually an overlooked aspect of this hero in his chase ability. The whole turn rate aspect of it.
Speaking of chase, Arteezy.
Yep, we'll be okay. That's a bit of a wasted glimpse, but...
It is.
It's all right. Interesting build here from Fly as well. When I was giving my verdict on this lane, I thought Fly was going to go the traditional build with multiple points in Thunderstrike, just because the overall total harassment you could output with, let's say, level 2 Thunderstrike and then level 2 raises would overwhelm DP really quickly. But he's going 0-2-1 build here. I think 2-1-0 would have also been really good in this lane. But either way, they're making it work. So, you know, there's different approaches. As long as you're winning this lane, you're happy. And I would say you're meant to. So,
yeah, absolutely. Winning lanes is kind of happening across the board for Shopify. Again, Abed 37-3 in terms of CS.
Red 2 is in trouble here.
Yeah, he is. Shield Crash was there. But Abed, does he want to keep diving? He's got Vortex in 2. He will not. He will play it safe for now. Just back himself out. Look for that, maybe that 6-minute power rune timing with the mana he has.
Do you know why he's called Red 2?
No, I don't.
It's just such an odd name, isn't it?
It is.
It's like Red was already taken, and then he took Red. Oh, that's a good rune.
Oh, that's the Storm rune we like to call it.
That would have been a nice one for Abed, but yeah, Red's going to grab that.
I believe there is actually another player called Red, by the way. But not in NA Div 1.
Right.
Somewhere. I just can't remember. I've casted over 1,800 games.
When people have a nickname
hard.
like this, there's always a story.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a good question for when they win a series. Ask that. Why is his name Red 2?
Oh, if only you were on the panel. We've got these absolute clowns in the panel, Cinder, and it's...
Yeah, we can slip them a note with good questions. And maybe if they can read, they would. Be very selective with who you give the note to.
Oh, where have you been all my life?
My odds are on fear for most literate panel member.
Yeah, I mean, the guy doesn't talk very much, but he can sure as hell read.
Oh, there might be a glimpse here. Fly looking for Speed. Oh, it placed the ward too late, actually. Speed got into the tree line. A little bit of a mistake there from Fly. That would have been a kill. But now, well, Speed needs to be very careful. He is moving forward, but Abed has already moved away.
Glimpse back. That'll be enough. Fly will just casually walk out.
I like this from Fly. What he's doing there is he's protecting his ward, right? By quote-unquote getting caught. He's letting Speed run at him on purpose and not moving away so that Speed would think, wait, how did he know, right? So now this ward that he placed in the lane is more likely to get dewarded by Moose 3 seconds later. Oh, well. Oh, it was a good idea. It didn't work, but I like what he was trying to do by not trying to make it too obvious. But maybe that in itself made it too obvious.
Well, that's what I like about you, Cinder. You try to look at the positives. You try to give them a reason for what they do. As Crit, bottom lane, gonna go for a bit of a dive here on DNM. Saberlight with the Familiars wants to keep going here as he does not have level 6 yet on the Abaddon, but won't take too much damage. He'll be all right.
His hero's just really, really tanky, right? Like 900 health. He's got the armor from Phase Boots. He's got 2 aphotic shields. You're not getting through that with these heroes just now, but they are putting the pressure on, and I think Giant might not make his way out of this alive. Yeah, he is very dead.
Yeah. Saberlight, one of those players where he really enjoys these kind of micro-y heroes, and
this is a terrible matchup for Rubik. Like, Visage is so annoying to deal with. You can't deal with the birds ever. You have no way of killing them. You have no way of kiting them. I wouldn't say Rubik is one of the absolute worst supports to play against Visage. Like, the single worst hero I can think of playing against this hero is Shadow Shaman, because you're so, like, Shackle is a big part of your kit, and playing from Fog is really important, and the birds can just find you. But Rubik is still up there, right? He's very positional based. He really needs to play at a distance. You need to have the element of surprise, and Visage can just cut you off a lot of the time. DNM.
Yeah, toss back's going to be very nice.
Probably
DNM
being forced to ult here, maybe?
He surely has to and will.
Yeah.
They'll force it out of it. As the thing, this Abaddon pos 1, like, it's not farming too badly. It's a 3.2k net worth, but it doesn't feel like it's having a game as top lane, Requiem, Arteezy, just pump faking for now. Red 2's going to show up. Fly should just be dead and will be going down as Red 2 able to secure the kill. In the meantime, Abed, mid lane.
Is he going to go for this? No, he's just cutting the wave.
Just cutting the wave. Fair enough. Top lane though, Speed is going to push in the top tier 1 tower. And that'll be the tier 1 to go down. Arteezy already just TPing out. So 5RAT, they are still finding the objectives. My problem being those, you look down at bot lane, Saberlight's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's an even trade in terms of towers, but always keep in mind Shopify Rebellion won 3 lanes, right?
Yeah.
Not by a landslide. The mid lane has been pretty close overall. It's still like a 500 win. The biggest win overall is the Shadow Fiend safe lane, right? Or actually, I guess it's a tie. They've won by about 1,000 gold in each side lane.
Amazing what you found laying around.
And I guess one concern you would have for 5RAT is that, you know, this is the play that their lineup really has, right? EXO, group up, take a team fight, get a tower.
Oh.
How does their lineup fare once BKBs come into play? You don't really have anything.
Moose, gonna try and jump in. Fly, going for the glimpse back, not gonna be enough though. Rolling Thunder was there. Fly will go down. Abed sadly losing another regen rune. And
Yep.
Fun fact, Abed is not gonna want power rune this game.
Oh, you wouldn't know, would you? He's still doing very well.
That's Abed.
Yep. But definitely, I mean, props to 5RAT, right? They're identifying that that is a really important thing to do against this team. I think controlling runes against Abed's hero pool is, I mean, it's kind of like saying nothing, right? Because obviously controlling runes is important, but there are just a subset of players in Dota that I feel like really enable their team a lot by using runes. Abed is high up on that list for this team. Because a lot of the time, Saberlight and Arteezy have somewhat static heroes, right? Which is the case in this game. Visage in one side lane, Shadow Fiend in the other. There's going to farm a lot, and Abed will be making moves with the supports. So cutting away not only the power rune itself, but also the mana pool that he gets from these refills on Storm is stifling EG a bit, or EG. I'll eventually get there, Shopify. Don't worry, guys. It's old habits die hard, you know? It's been how many years? Many years.
It's been many years, but they're gone now. They're gone.
I've been pretty good at it, but it slips its way in there. It's the subconscious. Oh, Red 2.
Jump in is there. Static Storm to be dropped, and he's got nowhere to go but down. Hell, even another Giant trying to help out. Save your buddy syndrome may cost him his own life. The Moose is around, but the glimpse back is there. Giant, no way to survive it as Abed does take the kill.
Arteezy could be in trouble here.
He could be, and he will be. Arteezy's down. Moose with a very nice rotation. Abed just going to try and punish him here on this Nyx Assassin, though he is out of mana, but the Vortex might just be enough as Moose, still trying to run, is going to go down to Fly.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bottom.
Yeah, that's a good toss.
It certainly is. Speed being caught out now on the Death Prophet, and he's not going to last too long either, I don't think. The Red 2 is going to show up, but the Soul Assumption will get the job done as Saberlight, kind of trapped in a pretty rough position now. Constant bounces here for Red 2, but the Visage, he's just way too tanky.
Cheeky little Seats of Serenity there, too.
Why
It's hard
not?
to knock him out of that.
Certainly is. Are they going to find Red 2? No, it doesn't seem like it. Though Abed does have an Arcane Rune, so you could probably try, but they won't see.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, 3 to 6 now, 3k advantage the way of Shopify. Things going very, very well. Top 3 net worths are still all on the side of Shopify as Moose is trying to get a bit of an initiation off onto Abed, but was underneath the Sentry Ward, so could not do so. Very, very unfortunate for him. I mean, props to 5RAT, like they're not too far behind yet, but I do get very concerned. Like with a draft like this where you're relying on this POS 1 Abaddon and you're falling like more and more behind as the game goes on, and even now, like this attempt at Saberlight just doesn't pan out. Like that's your EXO gone, DNM in the meantime, he's just getting jumped at the top lane. And these kind of situations, like these failed attempts, they're just gonna add up over and over again, and it's kind of compounding.
Speed might find Saberlight here. That would be a very big pick. He will get him. That's huge. Because I actually think this is the biggest problem that 5RAT has right now is Death Prophet's net worth. I think any sort of tempo-based equilibrium hero, as I would call that. Oh, he's dead again, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly
He's
is.
not getting away from this.
Toss up right into the loving arms of Arteezy.
So Death Prophet is, I would call an equilibrium hero, right? Like you're playing on tanking damage, but not too much. Like your hero wants to soak, but not get killed, right? Because you want to always trade with Siphon and then be ahead in the fight. If a hero like that falls behind even a little bit on net worth like this against this type of lineup, it loses its ability to frontline. And that means like the hero concept is kind of just out of the window, right? All right, let's see here. Red 2, nice toss.
Indeed.
Moose will die.
Will still go down, but you are out of mana at least for Arbit. Does have a regen though.
They're all gonna get out of here.
He's got a bottled regen.
Yeah.
I mean, can they
He
think
popped
about
it.
turning?
I think he's just gonna farm though.
Right.
So, yeah, so like one of Death Prophet's biggest weaknesses, I would say, is when it's playing against minus armor strats. Because when your hero is so reliant on being able to walk in front and soak damage and trade, you want to not get overwhelmed. So either heavy single target burst or certain spell casting heroes can be really problematic. Look what you're up against. It's a Visage and a Shadow Fiend. Like, going in with confidence against this when you're down net worth is really, really hard. You can't really stand your ground, so that means by extension that other heroes in the strategy that are playing around Death Prophet now also partially lose their purpose, right? So this is kind of the hero of the draft that needs to perform for this to make sense. And he will now grab his mech, which is definitely helpful. I would have liked to see it 4 minutes ago, though, I have to say. But that's what you get when you're 3k net worth behind the enemy carry minute 15, right?
That's fair.
It's been a tough lane. Can't blame him for losing that lane, but that also goes to show why the hero can be dangerous to pick Nyx 4 with this, right? If that was a stronger 4, maybe this top lane has a different outcome.
Absolutely. You get a little bit greedy with this kind of draft, and well, they're going to make the jump in on Saberlight at least. Saberlight, in the middle of nowhere right now, may just end up going down, though he does try to find a way up, but there is no way. So 5RAT, that's another pretty big pick off here onto Saberlight. They seem to be doing pretty well with just picking off the Visage and its familiars.
Yeah.
That's about it, though.
The big two problems are currently not really accounted for, though. Shadow Fiend is approaching BKB, which, as we covered earlier, the Radiant has nothing against. Just flat out nothing. They can't kill him if he BKBs, so that's going to become a challenge. You have to catch him with stuns and burst him with the Nyx plus Pango or Nyx plus maybe some strong Rubik spell. I don't know what he could have, really. Maybe Avalanche would be nice. That is definitely going to be a challenge. And Abed has made the same call, right? It's always interesting to see what Storms do in their itemization. I think this hero is actually quite open to what items you buy. Despite, when you look at the design, you would think that he had a pretty small pool of items he could choose from. But Storm has quite a few options at this point. And Abed is prioritizing the BKB. So making the same read, like, if I have BKB, I can literally do whatever I want. I'll just jump the backline and kill them. And they can't do anything. So his job is assassinate Nyx, assassinate Rubik, and then the fights are going to be blown wide open.
Oh, here we go. 3-man smoke up. Shopify Rebellion.
Moose with a great break here.
Indeed. Breaks the smoke.
Fly not reacting very quickly there with a dust.
Still red too.
Oh, they found him.
Yeah, they did. He stuck around for the creeps. He had to get the last hit before he went, and he didn't even get it. Oh no.
Abed with that double damage, putting it to good use. That might not have been a kill without it, actually. But now with that hero dead, that should be mid-tower as well. And Abed going for more bottom. Speed.
Oh, speed run. It's not safe speed.
It's just like, Death Prophet just doesn't like this matchup, man. Like, Arteezy 5-shots him, you know?
Oh, they're going for more. They're just snowballing off of this. That's going to be Moose gone. Glimpse out of... Oh, no. You know what? Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe. Probably not.
I'll tell you this much. I don't think he feels good about it, even if it is good, you know?
Right. That's fair.
It feels like a loss no matter what. It just feels bad to get glimpsed when you TP.
Crit. Oh, the glimpse back, it's just constantly making sure he cannot get the Rolling Thunder off. Eventually he does, but now he's trapped. Pango, it's just one of those heroes. They'll find crit in the end. They'll get something for their trouble. Problem is, Abed is here now, and he knows there's no escape for the Pangolier this time around. Red, he will heal up thanks to the Guardian Greaves, but it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Speed Well, they're going to try into Abed, who's very low on mana, but still somehow zips out. Still Abed is being chased down here on the storm. Stun is there, but can they do with Arteezy? They might find Abed, but Arteezy's now the huge problem. DNM still trying to man-fight this one out. It does have the borrowed time, so we'll keep going. Arteezy, maybe he's going to be the one to drop low now. Arteezy, zip forward, Giant. He's got the mana, but he hasn't got enough. They'll get him in the end. Tips out here for Giant. Is crit gonna go after speed?
I mean, that's so funny. Giant ball lightnings in and has no mana. He couldn't fate bolt. He was like, I'm gonna ball lightning fate bolt and kill him, and then he doesn't have mana, so he's just awkwardly standing there and starts attacking him as Rubik and melee. Good thing Abaddon was there to cover that kill. I mean, it's probably worth it to trade those two for the Shadow Fiend, to be honest, all things considered, but doesn't really feel like a win. I wonder why Arteezy popped BKB and just stood there and lay into an Abaddon that still had ulti ready. I would have thought he was just going to start threatening the Death Prophet and force her away, but maybe he thinks he's not strong enough? I think he is. I think he could have just non-stop attacked speed and forced him to go away, because he can't siphon him. So...
Red 2 goes down. Giant also caught out. Abed finding a nice double kill for himself here as Crit does come in to help with the last one. Saberlight?
It's really impressive how little downtime Shopify have, right? It's like that fight literally just ended and they just found 2 kills again. They're just immediately out on the map, playing aggressively. It's one of the things this team does so exceptionally well with their Storm, I would say, compared to other teams. I think Abed has mastered the balance between finding farm and making moves. This hero, I think the hardest part about playing Storm is making the judgment call of what you should be doing on the map.
Yeah.
Like, some heroes are really mechanically difficult. Some heroes, it might be difficult to lane with or pick the right itemization. For Storm, it's resource management. And if you've played the hero as many hundreds of times as Abed has, you just get a really good feel for the flow of the game. Like, is this a time that I'm supposed to farm? Is this a time that I'm supposed to make a move? What items do I have? What items do they have? Can I do this? Can I do that? He's made some really good judgment calls about, okay, I can just barely get this kill and then still get out, right? You saw a couple of times in this game alone that he kills someone, he has 200 mana left over, that gets him 600 range away, and that's just enough. And it looks so easy and effortless when played at this level, but it takes so much practice to do it as well as Abed's doing. So always cool to watch.
Jump in, Red. It's going to find Saberlight, the Visage again. The target here of 5RAT, and Saberlight's kind of been left alone for now, though he does pop the drums. He's going for a run, and now the toss out, but it's not going to be enough. The swash landed. Still speed is going to be targeted as this. They do get the ulti off of the Disruptor, but it won't matter. Speed, he's going to drop. Static Storm doing its work. Is Moose.
He could be in trouble here, actually.
Toss back again.
Oh, yeah.
Crit, always on target. Another double for Abed.
I mean, this was effectively a 5-on-4, right? Arteezy was bottom. And they won that exchange. Abed is just free to do whatever he wants. He's got the Aegis, so he's got that extra layer of safety. And this bot tier 2 is gone. Arteezy with the familiars very easily makes quick work of this. He has the presence aura talent for buildings, so not only good for himself, but also for the birds. And you'd imagine Shopify don't let up on the speed at all. I think they just keep going. They're going to smoke now. They have double damage popped on the Storm. Nobody is safe. Even DNM can die. Like, they can force his ult in 1 second, and then all they need to do is, when that ult is running, they toss him back, then they avalanche him, and then the ult runs out.
Yeah, jump in, DNM.
Right,
He's the primary target.
They have glimpse. It won't matter.
Oh, poor old DNM. They'll let him walk away. They'll give him a glimmer of hope and then bring him right back. There's no way out for him. See you later, DNM. And Abed, he's going for more now. He wants Giant. Giant, he'll still... Oh, it's just the remnant. Not even the zip being taken. There's Moose. He's sticking around. Do they have the detection? Well, they won't know he's there. But nevertheless, onto the T2 tower mid. I suppose, like, there's nothing to really slow them down or stop them. And, well, Shopify Rebellion, well, they've got 2.5 more minutes on this Aegis for Abed. So I think they're more than happy to just keep fighting. Absolutely no reason to slow down by the looks of it.
No, not at all. They just have so many strong team items as well, right? They've got Boots of Bearing and Vlad's. You've got the tiny displacement with the dagger, and you still have the Aegis, which is like arguably the teamfight item in Dota, right? An extra life on a hero of your choice is sounds pretty overpowered. Did you know you used to be able to buy this item in Dota 1?
Really?
Aegis, yeah. There was a time in Dota 1, Roche didn't drop it. Roche gave 800 gold per player to the team that killed him, and he was way stronger. You couldn't level 1 Roche, for example, back then.
That was before my time.
Aegis was a purchasable item in the shop. It had 3 charges, and whenever you died, you instantly respawned in your own fountain.
Wow. Okay.
With full HP and mana. The biggest downside to the item was you couldn't drop it when it was out of charges, so it took an inventory slot.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it gave armor and magic resistance. I think it was 10 armor and 30 magic resist and 3 lives. It was pretty expensive.
I mean, you'd hope so with 3 charges.
So there was a time when Clinxes would go Aegis into Rapier, right? And then if it failed, your game was over. But it was cool while it lasted, right?
Yeah.
That was also a time when you could send allies gold, and people would pool gold into a troll getting Rapier. Yeah. We've come a long way. If you ever play Dota and you're like, man, Pango is so broken, don't watch Dota from 15 years ago. It's been way worse.
Oh, bring Gambler, though. Gambler needs to be
yeah. Let's never. That's like the Voldemort of Dota. You don't say that name.
Oh, that's one hero I'd love to see.
Oh my god.
I mean, if we're going to have Arc Warden in the game, Syndrome,
Do you know how his spells worked?
Yes.
Actually?
It was amazing. It was amazing. Speed. He's going to get caught out. This is not so amazing for him.
Well, the whole map is just a minefield. Being this far behind against Storm is borderline unplayable for 2/3 of all heroes in Dota. If you get spotted by anything, Storm can solo you. It's just not much to do. And it just feels like a formality at this point, right? For Shopify, you're just going to keep running around lane to lane, get picks. Storm has the Hex, so he can kill anyone except Abaddon on his own without any issue. But it's not going to come down to that. They're going to go straight high ground. Moose has a bit of an angle here. There's no sentry ward.
Oh, Giant. Immediately caught out. Is just gone.
It's just too easy.
Yeah. It certainly feels that way right now for Shopify Rebellion. They go onto the bot racks now, nothing to really slow them down. Moo's just going to TP out, not feeling it from the backside. At least you have speed up in a moment, but you might lose DNM before that. And he's just gone.
Wait.
Not even close.
Did they have break?
They have
they have
something.
silver. So they static stormed and silver edged him. Very nice.
Could not pop the borrowed time.
Yep. That's good. That's a good combo against that hero, obviously. Silence plus break. Heal. Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Jump in. Who have they got? Oh, it's going to be Giant once again. That's a dieback on the Rubik. And, well, Hope's running very, very thin here for the side of 5RATFORCESTAFF as Shopify giving them absolutely zero leeway in this game 1. No clouding around here from this dire end of things.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
5RAT, I mean, I suppose you could still hope to maybe defend against Megas or even that last lane of barracks, but it's looking very, very tough now.
Yeah, you know the saying, hope dies last, right? It doesn't mean it stays alive much longer than the buildings do, in this case. They are going to show some respect here and back off.
Okay. Well,
But
it's a bit of a fake
we
back.
were only pretending to respect you.
Speed. Speed's gone.
Dire's top
Teasy.
is under attack.
He won't see Moose, but who the hell cares? He doesn't care about Moose. Oh,
It sees him now.
yeah, Moose will show himself. Static Storm drop, DNM trying to charge in. Giant, or rather Crit is there with the toss back, but the borrowed time, it's going to save him for now. DNM, he'll be okay, but can't say the same for their top racks. That they will back off again once the buyback is there from Red 2. So 5RAT still paying their respects to the side of 5RAT, even though it is a 4v5 scenario here for themselves.
Ah,
Yeah.
but not really. We were only pretending once again.
Radiant's
There's the Megas. 27 minutes.
now have mega creeps.
See what they can do. One final attempt.
About 1k net worth per minute advantage for Shopify Rebellion. Very, very one-sided game. I mean, it's not too surprising. This is obviously a... Oh, hang on. Missed toss there from Crit. Found a creep. Unfortunate.
Well, drums pop though. Shopify, they still want to go. Chase is on. DNM gets stunned up by the familiars. Still rushing forward though. He just does not care at the moment. Saberlight just waiting for his team to be ready to jump in, and there you go. Crit is there. Avalanche tosses out. They've almost killed off Moose. He barely survives. Meanwhile, Saberlight does die. That's a nice start, but the Requiem is there from Arteezy from the tree line. There goes Giant. Red 2's been caught out. He'll be dropping as well. That's a dieback on the Pangolier as DNM He's still trying to go into Arteezy, but the Static Storm is there. BKB is popped. Arteezy will get right to work. That's DNM gone. When are they calling it? It has to be soon. There's nobody left, and GG is there. Well, pretty rough game here for 5RATFORCESTAFF. Shopify Rebellion, unsurprisingly, taking game one in quite convincing fashion. Cinderin, what would you like to see changed up here for game two? I mean, give me some kind of hope for game two.
Okay, I think if they're going to run this Death Prophet, give her a better lane.